Hello there, people. Sorry I'm late. I was celebrating Diwali with kind of a last minute thing. So I wanted to make sure that I did that first before, sometimes those kind of things, may take priority. I tried very hard to like leave on time and all of that. So yeah, but I'm here now. I have done my stuff for the day. So let me go ahead and introduce the rest of the crew here because we do have some stuff to discuss. First off, we have Mr. Delete at the end. Always with the wave.
Yeah. It's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's my thing.
It is. And then we have in the middle there, Mr. Mako.
Hello?
And yeah, so we have some new stuff for us to discuss that has happened. We were not here last week because I was out. So last week was an interesting week. I'm just gonna provide a recap. So last week I got kind of busy. I wasn't here on Friday because I had to take care of wedding stuff, and I was quite busy from like Wednesday through Saturday, right? While I was out, SVS was going on, and I could not. I just didn't find the time to get into the game to play, and it was capital time. So I came back. My hospital is full. My enlistment is going. I have dead troops. Like. Because apparently somebody in the other alliance decided, we're just going to go ahead and start attacking. So even the guy is, I think, like red geared plasma 8 and everything, right? I'm blue geared plasma 5. He's attacking with 110,000 troops. I have over 1 million troops, and he's just wrecking me. So at some point, I'm just like, there's nothing I can do. I just wasn't on to bubble. Yeah, I wasn't zeroed, luckily. I was not zeroed, but it was not pleasant. That's all I can say.
No.
It was not pleasant to what I came back to. Luckily, I logged in while there was still the recovery stuff where people can help and assist.
Oh,
so
right.
I did get some of that. I was late to the party though, so a lot of the helps were already gone. But I got what I could there. But yes, that was not beneficial. No, Mr. Bone, you were at the hospital because Karma went into the labor. That is not correct. You're awful. Just awful. Hi, Aerith, and hi, Mr. Bone. Hey, you got all your SVS points. I mean, that's not incorrect. I did get the SVS points. I didn't get capital, but I did get SVS points. But yeah, it was a crazy week for me last week, and that's why I wasn't here. And yeah, so now I'm going one step further, just FYI. I am growing this out for the rest of the month for November, and we're going to see how bushy this thing turns. I will tell you right now, I already kind of hate it. It starts to get like itchy and all these other kind of things, right? And that's usually when I start to trim it because I have it. I have my razor. I either take it to a 4 or a 6 depending on what I need. Like 4 is on a regular time, 6 is if I have like a special occasion because I like it at that length. And then I'm like, okay, I have everything. Right now, it's probably close to like a 10. And I'm just like, I just want to shave it. But I'm like, no, for November, I will keep it going. So I'm going to keep this up. So I have gone completely crazy, as you can tell. Delete, how was your week?
I mean, it was kind of the same. Just a lot of kid sports. This week's another crazy kid sports week. Today was actually my first day without having a practice or a game in probably over 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and work's been nutty. So it's nice to be back. That's for sure. No, I didn't get in for SVS or Capital this time around, which is awful. It's tough to find time for the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's just as I logged in to see like, oh, this is different. All right. Oh, they're doing skins a different way, whatever, and it was just like, but that's about it. I didn't really have a chance to kind of like get in there and do events and, just let it be the big time suck that it is.
Yeah.
I couldn't let it do it. It was just wasn't there, but it was good. It was good. It's nice to have a break. I hope everyone watching was enjoyed the week off. And glad to have you back.
Yeah. And how about you, Mako?
It's going pretty good. Just besides a huge change in 125, I think everything's kind of going good.
Huge change in 125. You kicked out delete?
Oh.
Basically.
Yeah, we kind of left Mako, which is we merged with. So let's
With
see.
Triple X?
I guess. Yeah, with Triple X, and it's been interesting to say the least.
And you left Mako?
Yeah, Mako was like, "No, I'm standing on my own." He's like, we're just a bunch of mercenaries that basically play the game, just for nothing else but the game, which isn't what Law was. Mako's here, so he can explain.
Well, I've been in Law since 28 days into the game, so almost a year and 9 months at this point that I've been with Law, and it's always been kind of real life first, game second, and from the talks we were in for the merge, it was kind of like that got put on hold. Like it was game first, and if you weren't in the game for X amount of hours, you got demoted from whatever rank you were at down to the R1, and then I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. So we're sticking out in Law for now and see how things, if they calm down or if there's some influence from Law going into Triple X. But I just don't have the time or the passion to make this a job again, like it was when I first started.
That's fair. Yeah. So wait, so delete, you moved, I assume Colo moved you over?
Yeah. So, Colo kind of put me into Triple X to kind of get me up and running there, utilize my base as much as possible. And it was just, it's been different. I was actually telling Mako, I was like, I thought I'd actually miss the game more than I have, but I haven't really, which is strange because it's been such a big part of my life for over a year now. It's well over a year and a half. And it's just like, it was kind of like, wow, not feeling chained to the game to kind of like run my dailies, set my farms out, go ahead and buy the new heroes, buy this, buy that, continually keep, a maxed out base is, especially when they keep basically changing to the goal line, and increasing it to the point where it's like, well, you can't even actually just use the stuff that you have because we're going to invent something new that you have to buy. So that was kind of like, it was kind of chintzy. It really was. It was just like, wow, it's kind of awful. So I don't know. I don't know.
Aerith is asking, wait, demoted after after hours of inactivity? What about sleep or work?
Right.
That's what we're trying to figure out. Like we were talking about this merge for probably 2 weeks before it happened because we were trying to get it done before Reservoir League started, and it didn't happen. And then us and Triple X made it to the first round of the playoffs or whatever, and we both lost. So we kind of amped up talks and actually got it merged. Who would move where, how many would move, and how many spaces they would have. And we had people move in over there, and like they didn't log in for 12 hours, and they were already getting demoted. So, I had already decided I wasn't going to move right away at that point because I didn't get the sense that they wanted people who weren't strong to move. So I was just like, I'm a free to play player, and I'm not going to take up a spot of somebody who needs it. If you guys are only going to go like, they only want people to go for center and capital. It's like, we go for a tower and we sit there and we get that. And it's like, I don't really want to wake up at 3 a.m. to do something on my weekend. And I was just like, I'm just going to stick in law for a little bit and see how you guys like it. Because there was a lot of concerns on our end. They're like, hey, we might even go over there and might not like it. We'll just come back. And the first couple of days were just hectic. People were going over there. They weren't logging in for 12 hours or whatever. And they were getting demoted from R2, R3 down to R1. It's like, I mean, that's just not the way we've ever played in law. So,
yeah. Doesn't make any sense to kind of play that way, especially in a state that we're in, which is so old, to kind of demand that much time in the game from someone. It's like there's not a lot for you to do, besides run dailies. And then, like, I get it, if you want like participation in capital, and for SVS, it's okay, but like we cruised. Like, even without the people being on, they still cruised through capital, in SVS. So it wasn't like, oh, we could have really used you. It's probably been the most active alliance that they have seen in a really long time, and the same on the law side too. So to go ahead and start punishing people on that, it's kind of a power trip, kind of like nonsensical power trip at that. So I don't know. It's going to be different. It's definitely a lot different. And these are the kinds of things that you kind of have to do when you have an old state,
For now,
like
they are testing mergers, so
true, but then we'd be merging basically 250 active accounts at maximum, and that's counting like DGS and what's left of law and what's left of the people that kind of left Triple X to go to ZZZ or whatever, Rod and Rev.
Yeah.
It's basically 250 active accounts. And we're in 125. I can't even imagine what it is, in states like 60. That's probably like a 5-state merge to get 300 people, 400 people that are still actively playing.
Well, I know 2 weeks ago we were talking about that, and I haven't heard anything since then about them extending merger to the next group of states or what their plan is moving forward. They kind of just, I don't know.
Radio silent.
Right. I don't know if they're just giving the first merge a longer trial period or what, but I just have not heard anything since that merge.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling they are trying to test as much as they can because there are a lot of state-based events in this game, right? So we were talking about it last time, which is like survival of the fittest blood sport. How does your state now compare against other states? Are you going to be able to compete against normal states, or do you only compete against merged states? Because then that can potentially limit how much you're facing. Then, of course, how do the alliances square away, and how do we match those up in Reservoir League? If we're combining all these states that have these really high power alliances that we're waiting, does that throw them off? Like, do they get an unfair advantage now, or are they fine? And then, so I imagine there is a lot that they're testing. They may not be saying a lot. We'll go through all the stuff that they've posted since we stopped, or since we streamed, which was 2 weeks ago. So we'll go through all of the stuff because there's some interesting stuff that they've posted. I will say I have to check again. When I was kind of scanning and getting everything together for the stream this morning, I noticed something in game that I did not see an announcement for, and I don't know if everyone caught it. Becca frags are in the Alliance store. In the weekly Alliance store is now Becca frags. So if you're trying to get Becca, that's the way to do it. And she is pricey. I mean, those frags cost a lot of alliance points. So basically, you need to do everything you can to accumulate alliance points if you have not already been doing so, which means I would still recommend the Wall of Finn because that's like 2,000 extra per day that you can get. You have to do all of your donations, right? Get those donations in every single time. You still get the alliance tokens for Trap for the battery donations. So you want to do the battery donations, and then crap, I'm blanking. There's one more. Oh,
Caravan.
the caravan, the resources. You will want to make sure that you do that for everyone because it gets pricey. Yeah, exactly, Aerith. It is expensive, but it's only in the weekly, and so I mean, luckily, I just because I had just been kind of doing stuff in game and just going, I had accumulated like 400,000 or something. So I did manage to get the Becca frags that I need in order to unlock her. I'm waiting until an event in order just to pop it, so I get some bonus stuff. But I was able to get the frags that I needed to do it. But in case you guys didn't see, Becca is available in the weekly store and the weekly alliance store. So that is, I would say, probably pretty much the main thing that you spend it on now. It's like alliance relocators if you see them, maybe some talent resets, but then Becca. Good, Mako.
How many do you get per week? Is it one per day? 7?
I think it's one per week. I think it's in the weekly alliance store, not the daily. I have not seen her in the daily store. It's only been in the weekly, and it's with 70% off. It is a single frag for 100,500 tokens.
So in 125 we have the alliance store, which is it's not a weekly thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
we get like R4, R5. They can put those in there for like almost 400,000 of the gold alliance tags or alliance coins, and then you can buy them for the exact same price of silver coins, which are the individual currency. But like mine, I've never bought one yet, but it says there's 7 in there, but there's a 24-hour cooldown. So I'm wondering if you only get 1 per day.
Oh, so okay, yeah. So I'm in the weekly store right now. So you'll see it here. You can buy 7 of them. Each one is 100,500, but it's on the weekly store, meaning it refreshes in 1 week. So you could buy all 7 on the first day, but you'd have to wait the week to get it.
Yeah, because 125's only got this alliance store, and like that one, it's got ×7, but there's a 24-hour cooldown once you buy one.
Oh yeah, see, we don't have that, so that's probably one of the differences between the older states and the newer ones.
So the maxer is going to take like
ridiculous amount of.
I wanted to buy
like 6 years.
Yeah,
it's 100 to locate her, right?
Yes, it's 100 to locate.
So if you want to buy all 100 Becca fragments in the alliance store in 125, it'll cost you 3.3 million
without discount
silver coins. We don't have a discount in ours.
Oh, yeah. See, I have a 70% discount. Wait, so it's more than that because you need 100 frags, right? So it'll actually be 33 million.
Yeah.
Because it's 335. At least in our store, it's 335,000 silver per frag. Yep.
That's what ours is too. And our alliance store doesn't have any discounts on anything. So.
Yeah. See, we have a 70% off. So at least that's good because it's 100,000 per, which means it's 10 million instead of 33 million. But yeah, it is crazy.
Because I've been playing probably end of February, early March of 2020, and I have 38 million silver alliance coins, and I could just buy like 120, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's going to be an event too, Aerith, but it's interesting because of how they have this set up now. They did give us a way, right? We can say they did give us a way to get Becca frags. If you were here during the event, you had the unlock basically for free. You just had to do the event, log in, right? There wasn't too much to it. Granted, I did not unlock her, but that's because I was just busy and didn't log in. I'm not going to complain because they made it fairly easy to get her, right? If you're active in the game, you basically got Becca. So, I mean, it's at least something. So we'll see if they add an event. I feel like they need to, but at least for now, there is a way, and at least for me, there's a way to use the silver coins now, because I'd accumulated a lot of relocators and talent resets. So now spending it on Becca is like, okay, that works. I'll spend it on her to get to work on a character. So
I thought I was going to get hosed because of the alliance change. It was going to take all my silver tokens I feel like that was a thing. It used to, like, if you change, you lost all your alliance currency.
Oh,
yeah,
did it?
I thought it stayed that way because you had to. I remember when we moved over from MYN to Law way back when, you had to use all of your coins before you jumped over because otherwise you just lost all of that.
Right. I still have mine. I've got like 24 million in coins that are still there. I was like, whew, I feel like it was higher though. I really do feel like I had more than that. But
Oh, we're getting to that, Aerith. Aerith is saying Daryl is officially done. Saw some crazy artwork, and we'll talk about Daryl because there's actually a few things around Daryl that happened during this time. So let's go ahead and jump into that because the first post that I'll reference. So it's about the Mego Strikes Back Season 3. So they wrote, as you know, World Event Season 3 Mego Strikes Back has already been released in a few states. They wanted to know how you are liking it. And then they said, every 14 days, we will gradually expand the number of states which have access to the world event. Please check the schedule below and get ready to rumble. Have fun out there. Okay? So they put out this schedule. And every couple, like they said, every 4 weeks or every 2 weeks, they have a new set of states that are getting Mego Strikes Back. Now, they start with state 211 because I think you guys already have Season 3 started. So 211 is kind of where they cut off. 359, okay, starts on December 20.
wow.
They literally start us off on the week of Christmas as we're going into New Year. Like, so it's just the way it works out, right? But they have November 8 with a bunch of states or a bunch of groupings. They have 7 groupings on November 8. On November 22nd, they have 4 groupings. On December 6th, they have 5 groupings. Then on December 20, they have 5 groupings. And then they have 2 on January 3rd. But it's not even just a U.S. holiday. Like Christmas and New Year. It's like a, everyone on the globe kind of thing. Yeah. So to like start this event during that time, it's just going to be another week where it's just going to be like, yeah, I'm not going. I'm just going to have a hard time playing. Granted, not their issue. I'm getting married on the 18th. So it's like, I'm going to be doing other stuff between the 18th and New Year. But that's just me. Everybody else is Christmas. I'm just... Go ahead, Mako.
I will say that this new season is so much less time consuming.
Seems that way.
So there is no longer digs on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. It's like a treasure chest thing. You just get 5 chances per day, and you're not competing with anybody. They're just yours. So you go in, click it, it'll find you a chest. It'll send the dog out and it'll get it, and you'll get your rewards for that. And then they have an advanced one, which is like a gold crate, which you need. So the original one is just a blue crate. Mm-hmm. And then in those blue crates and through the events, you get a purple piece. 5 of those gives you 1 gold crate. And it's really random to get it in the blue crates, but you get them like as you go through the progression. You get I think I've gotten 4 so far, mm-hmm. And then I found a couple in crates, but it takes like 30 seconds to get those done. And then they reduced the requirement for your intel. So like your first round of intel, all 8 missions completes everything on that. And then I think we're in week 3 of it now, I think. And we just got the underground. So I mean it's a slow start. There's nothing really going on with it. So I mean maybe that's why they picked that week for, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because other people are going to be in a little bit deeper during those 2 weeks. But to start that week is actually pretty good because there's not a whole lot. But the only thing I'll say is it's a little more confusing because they give you a second skill in this season, which is an instant resource collection once every 24 hours. So.
And that's on top of your 5 digs?
So you get the 5 digs and that's it per day. but then instead of getting just the wall breaker skill, now they have an instant resource collection. So once every 24 hours, and then as you level up that like mushroom tree that was in Yith, it's like a industrial building for this new one. And as you level that up, it'll reduce the cooldown for that instant gather. So you literally just send out one troop to a level 8 tile and instantly gathers that all 674,000 fuel, and then it comes back right away. So it's kind of nice, actually.
So that's nice. I guess that's something. Yeah, Aerith was saying that the new dig and everything is nice too. So
it actually the gold boxes actually hit pretty heavy because they give you the like tickets you need to upgrade from like your gold badge to your red badge, which is huge because that's a pay only type thing to get those.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome then. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, minus the timing. Like, if it wasn't for the timing, then everything would be fine, but... Yeah, that was, Yeah, December 20th.
This game really doesn't take, like, personal lives or, like, or just about anything else into account when it comes to that.
Yeah, I just got unlucky. That's pretty much it. I'm in the group of states that it just, happens to fall during Christmas, but that's the way it is. So we will see. I have a feeling I won't be playing much during that time because kind of a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so that was the first thing that they posted. Then next, this was posted on the 30th. It said, explore secret experimental base. Hello, Dr. Feelgood. Yeah, I was going to mention that. I'll just do it now, since Dr. Feelgood mentioned it. This is episode 69 of The Bunker. I noticed when I was making the title, I'm like, we are on episode 69. The holy grail of Bunker episodes right here. It is. It's the holy grail of Bunker episodes. Dr. Feelgood using the 69 emote. We have done it. We have made it.
I wish Venom was on for this one.
I know.
That would have been really nice.
You know what? I'm gonna send her a text right now. Let me send her a text right now. Let me just see what she says. Let me see.
Bringing back State of 69.
I know. Let me see. It's episode 69 of The Bunker. You able to hop on? Okay, we'll see what she says. She might be busy. I'm sure she is, but yeah. But yeah, we will see if she can, if she's able to hop on. But yes, it is episode 69. It is happy time. So, but yeah, so let's see. So then the next thing is, so explore the secret experimental base. The third season of state events, Mego Strikes Back, has been released for public testing and will be launched in all states one after another. In this season, we have not only adjusted a number of rewards, the difficulty of the task, but also made major adjustments to the Explore the Secret Experimental Base event. So, adjustments. For number 1, richer mechanics. The ground tiles in the event are divided into battle tiles and exploration tiles. So, that is nice. I don't like the ones where they mix, right? So you can just go after the ones you need. Battle tiles can be broadly classified into 3 categories. Common tiles, special tiles, normal difficulty, you need to send 3 heroes to the level, eliminate the infected in the base. After the boss is eliminated, you still need to eliminate the higher infected, to eliminate the regular infected and clear the tile to move on. And then boss tiles, high difficulty, you need to defeat the boss to go deep into the base. So that's fine. Exploration tiles, the exploration feature returns in the 3rd season. We have a lot of surprises in store for our players. You can explore alone or with groups of allies. So that could be neat if you're actually able to like coordinate it almost like a rally explore. I don't know how that would work, but that would be kind of neat. Here you may encounter a traveling merchant with whom you can buy great value items at a small price. You may also find resource points containing large amounts of supplies, etc. Welcome to the secret experimental base. Explore the unknown and reap the surprises. I will say, I love this. Right? You have the battle tiles, which just make it easy for people to get their points and walk away. And then the explore tiles are for people that have the time, that want to do it. They now can get a few extra rewards by doing the explore, but it doesn't force it upon you. You just kind of go with whatever you want to do it. I kind of like that.
Much better way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aerith is saying is that's the factory. Everyone needs to sign up for a task. You have to send heroes for extra bonuses, like female. Yeah, but I like that. I like the fact that you can separate the battle and the exploration tiles a little more. So I'm actually pretty happy with the way that they've done this. Mako, what do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty nice because they've got what they it's got a raid function now. So they give you raid tickets, like one every 2 hours or something. And what happens is you can basically expend raid tickets to use up 10 attacks in without having to do the explorer 10 times. So it still gives you the rewards for doing the explorer 10 times. You just only have to go through the animation one time.
Nice.
And they upgraded the amount of stamina you get. It's now 1,600 of the stamina, or sorry, 600 of the stamina now instead of 250. So, I mean, it takes a while to fill up, but it also takes a long time if you're out of raid tokens to complete all that stamina. But I've liked it so far. I haven't gotten a lot of the tasks with like where the groups go in there, just because, I mean, by the time I go in there, we're already down 4 floors. So it's like, all right, I'm just gonna get what I can.
Yeah.
But I have had a couple of the extra ones where you go in, like it'll give you, so what level you have. They changed the categories now from the what they were before, like skill, defense, balance, all that stuff. They've changed that to like wise, cautious, new names for all of them, and they changed up what the rewards are for each level on those. So it's pretty nice because it'll go through and you'll choose like the 3 that I've done so far. One was literally just like you send out people and it gathers troops, and it gave me 200 biocaps. Another one I did was it said you get bonuses for heroes with pets, for rider heroes, and for heroes that don't use guns. And it was 10% for each one. So if you got 3 rider heroes that all use non-guns that you had pets, you'd get 90% bonus to your
Nice.
to that mission, and then you send them out and it like gathers for 8 hours, and then depending on what your percentage bonus was, is that's how much rewards you got after the 8 hours for that that tile. The other one I got was it was literally just pick your strongest march, and it was like I only got 60% on that one, and it went out there and got back. And then the last one that I just did probably about 20 minutes ago was you sent out a march, and based on what your levels were on those skills, that's what your percentage was. And I only had a 50% chance, but it had, so you could pay 100 biocaps, 200 biocaps, or 500 biocaps. And then the rewards were double. So you'd get 200 biocaps, 400 biocaps, or 1,000 biocaps if you succeeded. But I only had a 40% chance and I didn't succeed. So.
Yeah, so that is the next thing listed here, which is more diverse buffs. So like you said, the tactics are divided into 5 categories: valiant, steady, wise, cautious, and visionary, along with as many as 25 types of enhanced tech. So choosing the right tactics can help you do more with less, and they can be obtained by both battle and exploration. And then easier exploration, raid mode can be unlocked after obtaining 10,000 cell samples during exploration. And then with the raid passes, you can quickly explore the same area multiple times, greatly improving efficiency. And note, raid passes can be obtained naturally over time, 1 per minute, or through tile exploration and other means. So Mako was just talking about. And then the last thing, Doctor's Treasures have been added to the store. Players will unlock limited premium items after completing the challenge objective during exploration. Use cell samples to redeem legendary hero fragments, plasma cores, badge tags, and other rare items. The above is the content of this issue. Do you like the adjustments? Feel free, and then they're asking for feedback. So, I mean, at first glance, I haven't been able to play it because obviously December 20. But once I do, it sounds like it's going to be pretty neat, though. So, I mean, kudos to them for doing the feedback, right? We've asked for different changes, and yeah, so far it sounds like they are listening. So I'm happy to see these changes coming through.
Right. It's nice that it's not just a rinse and repeat of both Meagle and Yith. It's kind of, I mean, it's like rinse, but they put a nice shiny coat on it.
Yes.
It's kind of refreshing, actually. It's not the same thing over and over.
Mm-hmm. And what Aerith is saying is that a lot of, like, the explorations, you don't need oxygen. It's just time, so it's basically free to do. So that gives people something to do if they don't have anything else to do. And honestly, spending bread is not very fun. So not when you're so far behind and it just takes forever. Like, it was fun for me when I was keeping up and trying to get it to 0, and then, like, but right now, no. I am, like, so far in the hole with bread, it's just I can't dig myself out. It's just not
you don't
happening.
want to go ahead and spend 16,000 bread.
Yeah, it's just not happening. They really need to do an auto with that. Okay, so then the last thing for their announcements, then we have a developer feedback, but with their announcements, our time with Daryl has come to an end. However, like the numbers show, his legacy will live on for eternity. And apparently there were 2,219,653 Daryls in the game. So over 2.2 million Daryls in the game. They also noted that Daryl and Maddie fought together over 35 million times. So people use Daryl with Maddie as a combination for whatever it was, whether I guess it's a raid attack, or I mean if it's a march, if it's exploration, whatever it is, they included both. 716 million The Walking Dead quizzes were answered. And the number one helper helped others 1,417 times. And then 13 million surströmming were eaten. So they're just giving some fun little stats to go along with Daryl. But I think the most important, because they highlighted at the top, 2.2 million Daryls in the game. So now, obviously, the question that you guys asked before, how do you continue to get frags for him so you can re-resonate him? And that's what the developer feedback was on. So let's go ahead and go to the developer feedback, and hopefully that'll help to answer some of these. So the first thing they start off with, changes on Resonant hero rules. So they just start off with that in their developer feedback. We have improved Resonant hero rules by introducing the resonance level system. With the new system, your Resonant hero inherits a certain percentage of the stats of the Resonant partner at each level. When the resonance level reaches level 4, the Resonant hero gets 100% of the stats of the partner. The total fragment consumption remains the same as the old Resonance hero system to inherit 100% of the stats. We hope players will have more flexibility in trying to grow the power of their Resonant hero. So they're kind of introducing a level system now with the Resonant heroes. It's an interesting start. I don't know if it changes too much with what we're doing right now, because it's still, you get 100% of the Resonant hero stats when you do all that. So it doesn't seem like it's changing a whole lot at the moment, but it is doing something. So this is what we'll do right now, actually, because I am logging into the game after a while since these changes were implemented. I actually have the screen to level up Daryl, right? I'm still going to wait because it actually uses his frags, right? So I want to wait until there's actually an event to do it. But just to see what's happening here, you can see at level 1, it goes from 5% to 25% of the stats of who I have. And I have Ava currently resonated onto him. And so it'll take 25% of those stats. Still not sure if that's the greatest thing, because obviously it still favors you using your highest one, right? Your highest hero, so you can't use it. Mako, I saw you waving your head no. So go ahead.
Yes. I actually did this with Daryl because I had a bunch of fragments. And I went from having like 5 million BP with Daryl to 1.3 million with BP with Daryl.
It
Because I
went
had him
down.
resonated. It went down because I only had enough to get him to like 50%. So he's only 50% of the stats of the hero I have him with. So he's actually like, I think I have him with Mike. So I had him at whatever Mike was at, was like 5 million, I think, BP or 4 million BP. And once I upgraded him, Daryl's BP at the bottom of the screen went down to like 1.7 million. So he's actually worse because I upgraded him.
Oh.
Interesting.
So like my let me pull it up quick. My Wacko is still at
So basically, it doesn't account for these new changes until you actually do the first level upgrade. And then it updates it with the new one. Interesting. I wonder if it's just the BP is screwed up, but his stats are... Did you check to see if his stats actually changed accordingly?
No, I didn't actually.
So I'm wondering, let's see. No, mine are completely matching. I have like the exact same stats between Rusty and Wacko, because I have Wacko currently resonated on Rusty, and it is the exact stats. So if you had resonated before, you don't need to level up. It's just keeping it.
Oh, interesting. I don't even have Wacko in my heroes.
He's not even in your heroes?
Where did he go? I'm gonna restart the game because I just noticed that Wacko's not in there, and I'm not. That's not okay.
No, that is not.
I'm at level 4 on both of them. So it's still asking me to kind of push up or get more frags for both of them in order to complete level 5.
I thought it just
even
said level
though that I've resonated
4.
him.
I thought the post said 4 levels. Yeah, it says level 4. So are you not at 100% at level 4?
Let's see.
Because in the post it said you just need level 4 to get 100%. Which makes sense based on what I'm seeing, because level 1 gets you 25%. So I'm assuming. Yeah. But it's giving you an option to level 100%.
Up? Level 4, yeah. It's saying you can go to level 5, but level 5 is still 100%. So there's absolutely no reason to do that. I wouldn't imagine why you would want to do that.
Yeah, why would you want to do that? Let's see. Well, we'll continue with the post. I don't remember seeing anything about that.
And it actually shows that it looks like it could go to level 7. Like that's going to be difficult. Oh, no.
I can turn off the green screen. Hold on. Let me turn off your green screen here to see if I can prevent that from happening here. Okay, there we go. Now I should be able to. Oh no, it's yours that's getting rid of it.
It's mine. So let's see.
We'll trust you.
No.
We'll trust you. So it's saying that you can get to 7?
Yeah, it's saying that there's like 2 empty stars left. Oh, it shows it on yours too.
Yeah, now it's showing.
Okay, so I found Wacko, and Wacko's the one that I upgraded to level 1, so he's at 25%. So he, with my strongest brawler hero, which is Magnus, Magnus is at 6.3 million hero power, and Magnus is at 1.2 million. But if I go to Daryl, who is still with Mike, he's at 4 million BP. and I haven't done anything with him yet. So
Yeah, and I see what you're talking about, Delete, is the 7 stars right here underneath the symbol. The first one is flashing to go to level 1, and then you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So mine goes to 4, and it shows the extra space. So I wonder if that's all about.
Yeah.
Probably when they get the Plasma 10.
Possibly. Yeah. So there are some things going on here that I haven't seen a direct post. What they did write is, in addition to this, we've also granted each Resonant hero an extra skill. By leveling up the resonance level, players will be able to increase the skill effect. The new skills provide the hero with an advantage under certain PvE or PvP conditions. We hope you enjoy the idea of the new skills, and we will release more Resonant heroes in the future. So those higher levels may be skill damage increases. Not necessarily the stats, so it's level 4 for the stats, and then higher might be the actual skills based on this. Not fully clear, but that is what it sounds like. So that's one thing. Then the next one, development plan for World Event Season 4. So they just talked about releasing 3, now they're planning 4. As we mentioned in the previous developer feedback post, the dev team is currently working on World Event Season 4, which will be a completely new mode in comparison with the previous seasons. Season 4, players will enter a brand new world map filled with purple crystal mines. Players need to explore the world map, mine the purple crystal, and refine it to craft armor for their troops. The crystal can provide short-term improvements for your troop stats. Thus, it is crucial for your alliance to gather as much crystal as possible to achieve victory over the season contest. World Event Season 4 is still in development stage and will be released by the end of December. Please stay tuned.
Interesting.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds like they're revamping kind of the solo reservoir raid type scenario almost. You're just farming mines instead of water, and you're just trying to collect it with your alliance. It almost... I mean, they're reusing the same model, which is fine. Hello, the Durgan. Oh my god, Durgan.
Durgan.
Did you read what he wrote?
No.
He literally wrote... Durgan, you literally made me facepalm on my Tika stuff that I had on my head. Awful. Awful, Durgan. So he wrote, "You've done it. You have reached 69. You should stop here because things will start to turn around for you." Just... Damn it, Durgan.
It's got a gift.
He does. He does. I can't deny it. He does. So it sounds interesting, right? If they actually did, and I'm blanking on the name of the event that was the Solo Reservoir League that was the issue before. The one where we had the mismatches with like Plasma A versus HQ30. I can't remember the name of the event. But hi Grimathy. But if they fix that, that is good. However, they've started to make changes to season 3 to try and get it to where we are. Like, why would you just like start a new event? Like you're starting to fix up season 3. Why not just continue with that? If it's like working, you don't necessarily have to put out something new, especially if you're constantly tweaking it to make it better. Like that's all we need. Save the new event for a different time when you're at a point where this has been going on for like 2-3 seasons with the exact same thing, and players are like, okay, we've done this, what's next? But right now you're like constantly improving it. You have something new coming to us. I don't think... Again, I feel like their focus should be on mergers, kind of like what we were talking about, which is we haven't gotten an update or anything like that. So just focus on that. Keep working on this in the background, but you don't need to release this by December. I don't see a need for it. You're releasing new season 3. Azertane Heist. Thank you, Aerith. The Azertane Heist.
It's weird that they're like pumping out these like, these Migo things like nonstop. I mean, it must be a pretty solid profit center. I can't imagine what for. Like I guess you can like refill your stamina, when you're buying those bundles maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But those aren't really terribly expensive, it's not like Hero Gear or anything like that. So it's just strange that they're just like, oh yeah, we got to do this right away. We got to get into it again right away. It just doesn't seem to line up.
They're also releasing season 4 while season 3 is still in the midst of being released. Like the last group in season 3 isn't getting it until January 3rd. So there's going to be a group in season 4 while they're still releasing season 3.
Yeah, state for state, still in beta.
So it's just like, this is actually one thing where I'm like, you can slow down a little bit. They don't need to constantly be pumping out like new content at this rate, because they're gonna make it so we're not gonna really appreciate all the stuff that they're doing. Season 3 is just gonna go by the wayside. We're gonna be like, yeah, it's fine, but then we're not gonna play it again because now season 4 is coming out. There's gonna be something completely new, and all the changes are gonna be for like, well, you made it for one season and that's it. And this is something with their game in its entirety, right? With the new states versus the middle states versus the old states. Like, they're not reusing the things in game that would just make it easier on themselves. We have different game modes. We're having like different events, even though we don't really need it. Just tweak it and add more seasons. I mean, they're doing that with Reservoir Raid, and that's like perfect. Reservoir Raid and League, like, all we ask is for an algorithm update. We're not really asking for any new like map or anything. Although that's probably the next thing, which is Reservoir Raid with a different map layout. Like, it's not the 4 in the corner and 1 in the middle. There's maybe some obstacles or only like certain areas where your troops can go or something, right? So they can change the map but keep the same concept. To come up with a whole different game mode, I just feel like it's just effort not put in the right place at this time.
Right. Especially something that you're not going to carry over. I mean, if they let the precedent stand, it's not like Ascertain Heist became like part of the game, like went away. So if you're just inventing something just to have it for a couple weeks, like, I don't see the sense in it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like they should just slow down a little bit on season 4. Just keep working on season 3, because season 3 is actually, I mean, I like the world events, and there was something that needed to be improved, and that's a lot of it you're hitting on right now with the new world event season 3 stuff. So let us play that through, see if there's any other improvements, and we just keep on working on that to make that an enjoyable game mode, and then create something completely new. Don't kind of keep it with the world event seasons like you're doing. But the other thing that they posted on was when the Halloween stuff was coming, which is all past. So we're done with that one. But that was the updates that we got pretty much while we were out. So there was some interesting stuff in there. Notably absent, though, I didn't see any mention of the Becca frags. I didn't see any mention of the state merger, right? They're just still evaluating, so it would be nice to kind of get a little bit of an update on where they are with that, or what they're seeing, or something, right? Some insight to make it a little bit easier for us to understand what they're doing. So that's kind of I don't know, I feel like that's the main things we're just missing now. Otherwise, they're kind of moving ahead pretty well. They obviously have enough of a development team to create a new game mode altogether, which is nice also. Doesn't really utilize the old one, but they do have the capability of creating a new one. So, Mako, overall, what do you think of all of these changes? Because I think they're overall fairly positive. Some questions, but I thought they were overall pretty positive. How about you?
Yep, I like it. For the most part, from what I've got to do with in season 3 so far, it's new enough that it feels like new content, but it's not that new where it's like you're learning a new whole new system of the game. So it's kind of hits that middle ground there, which is nice, because it's like, okay, I'm not sending all this time in here to learn how to do this event for the next 3 weeks until it's done, but it's also just not the exact same that we did for the last 2 season events. So I like it so far. The story kind of took a dip from Yith in my mind. I mean, you're revisiting Migo again, so there was already 75 times 3, so 320 different story things for Migo and for Yith, and I think now there's less than that, so it's not a whole lot of story development for me, which in my mind, that's what I play the game for. So
Yeah.
That part is lacking for me, but I think overall it's a positive.
Delete, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, it was just weird that they changed the like skin event for Halloween just to kind of go back to that. It was like a different thing. It was like, all right, you kind of like the thing to hold the button, like to fill up or whatever, ended up going into this overall pool that like you had a chance to win it all kind of thing. I'm like, who's winning that? I'm like, is anyone actually going to win that? Would they really give you all that stuff? I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. But like the new event it seems okay. It seems okay. I haven't been able to play it much. It does. I just did my digs and it took, literally like 4 minutes, comparatively to the last one. I like the fact that the rewards for the digs are better. So that's a quality of life optimization that was definitely needed. I do like the fact that they have changed, excuse me, that they have changed the ability to like go ahead and pick and choose your battles as far as like in the underground. It's still annoying that like I've got to go in there and then travel down 8 levels before I can fight something after I wake up. That doesn't really seem to make any sense. It should kind of, put you at the next level, because once a level is complete, there's nothing to be done.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing to be done. So, unless it's like, oh, someone left one thing in the middle of like the right corner or something like that, it should automatically take you to like the newest floor, or the floor that's presently active. Well, besides that, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Sucks to hear that this story is not keeping up to Mako standards, because that's he has been reading it from day one, and they've always actually put some pretty strong effort into the story too, which is, they've like kept that going. It's not been a whatever.
They have.
So
the story has been fun to keep up. So it is unfortunate that they, messed it up now.
Just slacking on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, hey, story guy, we got to let you go because we got a whole season 4 to map out, and that just takes precedence right now. Mm-hmm. Bunch of cuts.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good content. It's good content. It just some things are always just a little bit wonky. They fix stuff that's not broken, just to add new stuff, and it's like, this is okay. I don't understand why you changed that, and you didn't change this, so.
I'll make kind of just my own opinion here, and I want your guys's too. Real life has taken me away from the game lately, right? There's just a lot going on, and it just becomes difficult to play. However, I will say when I do have the opportunity to play, I find that the game is in a state that actually lets me enjoy it. Like, I feel like it's in actually a state that allows me to enjoy the game more than it did maybe about 6 months ago. And I think it is because it feels like they're changing these events for the better. I think following the feedback and everything that they're doing has shown that they are listening. They're making changes. They still maybe just do their own thing periodically and maybe get ahead of themselves. But I would say overall, I feel like this game is just in a better state than it was 6 months ago. It's just unfortunate that real life stuff has taken me a little bit away, but I don't see myself stopping like playing this because I do enjoy it when I have the time to play it. And I know Delete, same thing with you recently, right? It seems like life happens, time takes you away from it. But what are your thoughts on how the game is right now versus how it was a little while ago?
I think it's way better. I think it's way better purely on the fact that, like, they're shrinking the amount of time that you need it. And it's kind of recent though, that it's way better. Because it's like there are definitely things now that, like, just for instance, the digs, we're so much smoother, and the reward system has kind of been, taken aback. There's nothing that's like, I mean, of course, this game's always going to be a game that you can play 24/7. It is, but I don't feel like the events are demanding 24/7 like they did, because there was like a solid 3-month period where it was like, no, I can't do this. It actually kind of burnt me out on the game where it was just like, why is every event happening right now? And it was just like, I think it kind of went through hell to kind of like get to the place we are now. Yeah. And it definitely is a lot smoother now,
yeah,
which is appreciated. I wish I did have more time to play, and it probably made it easier for me to be like, man, I got to put the game down, because if I don't play the game as much as I need to, I'll just fall too far behind to the point where I can't catch up, which is very easy in this game. I mean, you take a month off in this game and you come back, you're down a batch of heroes and you've got to catch up there. You are no longer in contention for skin events. You are way behind.
And
it's
unless
tough
you're
to pick that back up.
And unless you're someone like Delete, you might come back and your base is 0 too. So you're almost starting over again with resources and troops to some extent.
Right. And at that point, it's like you might as well, if you really get the itch, that bad, you might as well just go ahead and start in another, in another settlement, in another state.
That's the McVenom
just get
strategy.
to that point. Yeah. Well, this is over. Let me go to a new one. At least I'll get the updated game, a new hero, like the new hero center would be nice. And it'd be, and it's like, I still think that this was up to like level 30. This was one of the most fun games that I've ever played.
I agree. Plasma changed a lot.
It was just like, wow, okay. It was like, to get to 30, if you were a spender, it wasn't like, wow, you've got to drop like $5,000 into this game to like be super strong. It was actually very economical. It's like, well, all right, this is kind of like not that bad to kind of like spend on. And then it was just like, okay, ramp up spend exponentially, So up to 30, and when everyone was just, and everyone's fighting and everyone's trying to figure out what the hell's going on, because a lot of the reason that this show started was the game doesn't really explain itself at all. You really have to kind of figure it out. It's kind of trial by fire.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I'm getting this report with all these percentages. What do these mean? Until you're like, oh yeah, different heroes have different attack percentages and so on and so forth. And this is what this is. And this is what strategies here. And you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be saying equal troops and so on. Like the crafting, the overall just kind of like putting together of the game was really fun. To where we are now, where it's like, it's just content overload, and from where we were, where it was like, wow, there's nothing new in this game. It's always like a big swing, peaks and valleys. So, but yeah, I would completely agree with your statement. It's still fun when you play it.
And then Mako, who plays more regularly, I think, than Delete and I do for the most recent time. How do you feel about the game, being that you kind of continually played? I know you broke your streak in the middle there, but for the most part, you've continually played.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They've continuously found ways to move that finish line for the big spenders, and it has inevitably widened the gap between the big spenders and the free-to-play players, or even the little dolphin spenders. But you give them 4 or 5 months after they make that gap bigger, and they seem to find a way to, I wouldn't say even it out, but at least give a stepping stone to those lower spenders. Like when we first started playing, the only way to get Chief Gear designs was to buy them. Now they give them away as event capital, and in certain crates you can get them for. You can buy them for biocaps and stuff, and that was pretty nice coming out. And I mean, now, like Delete said, you have the new badge material stuff that's only pay to obtain. And I would probably give it 4 or 5 months, and you might see them as like capital, like top 50 gets these now. And then give it a couple more months after that, and it might be top 100 in capital get this new badge material and stuff. So they always find ways to do that. I've never been let down with anytime I log in. There's always something to do that kind of keeps you interested. Well, they're like, for me, it's the story content and these new season stuff now. I mean, always logging in and seeing one of those special intel missions in there, and like, all right, I'm gonna get a little story tidbit here. Let's do this now, and you go through and get that. And then I think the biggest thing going for them is that they have a good base in there, and they've kind of hooked up to this point that they don't have to do so much. I mean, everybody who's literally been playing in state through 400 and below is only talking about one thing, and that's merge. We don't need these big grandiose season events. I mean, you've already got us hooked for, I mean, season one or state one's probably been playing what, over 2 years now?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're still in the game, then they're there for a reason. So I like what they're doing with it. I'm not a big fan of the peaks and valleys like Delete said, because I mean, Migo season 1, that was just sensory overload for everything. And then we got to Yith, and I was like, okay, now it's literally just the exact same thing. And it was like, all right, I'm not really gonna waste my time with a lot of it. Now we're into season 3, and it's like, okay, everything's new again, and they've revamped everything, so you've got to try and learn all this stuff again. But it's pretty good at keeping your attention, which is what I like. But just to touch on Delete for the underground, and just scanning through all those levels that are already completed, apparently I missed something when I went through, because we're on level 51 right now, which is the second to last, is what I'm showing. But Nath, her alt just shared one of those Alliance task missions back on level 46.
Oh wow!
So it's it looks like this big freaking like spider nest in there, and when you click on it, it gives you a bunch of missions that everybody in your alliance can choose one of the 8, and then you go
like
in.
Throwdown.
Yeah, it tells you which ones to do. So like, I just picked one. It's gathering thing in here, and he goes in there and it does the same thing I was telling you before, where it has a list of missions or parameters, and then you choose heroes to go on that explorer mission, and then if you meet the criteria, then you're good to go. You can send it out, and like mine's at about 4 hours and 20 minutes left until this one's done. So
Oh wow!
And Eric is saying you need an R4 to mark them.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting that they've lulled us to sleep on this underground for the last 2 seasons, where you just literally zoom through all the levels, and all of a sudden 6 levels back there's this special thing that gives you special resources. It's like, oh, okay, now I got to pay more attention as I zoom through all of these.
Seriously, because it was just like, okay, all right, this one's in the center, this one's in the corner, this one's in the corner, this one's in the center. You know, you get to like the next level, it's like, this is annoying. This is making me to the point where I don't even want to do it.
Right.
All right. Well, I think that covers all the news and everything. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. Otherwise, we will do what is now tradition. Finn's Plasma. what is going to happen with Finn's Plasma Lab today? Now, I will say, the last couple days have not been terrible. I think yesterday I hit 2 plus 3s, 2 plus 1s, and a 0. So that's not bad. That gets me over 10, right? Which is the minimum. And the day before, I think, is when I hit a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, and then a 0. Literally, wow. I went in order. It went 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So we will see what happens now with Finn's Plasma Lab. So let's go ahead and see what is going to happen with Finn's Plasma Lab today. All right.
I'm going 11.
You're going 11. You're being optimistic. Mako, what about you?
Let's go 8.
8. 8 has been my most common one. So let's see. We're going to start off with the first one. It is just a 1. So we're at 1. The next one is a plus 3. We are at 5. Let's go to the next one. Just a 1. So we're at 6. Ooh. Next one is just a 1. So we're at 7. So if I hit a plus 3, delete is correct. If I hit a 1, then it's Mako. Right? And then a 2 would get you... 2 would be... Yeah. Plus 2 would give me 3, so I'd be at 10. So that would be closer to delete. And then a plus 1 gets me closer to Mako. So here we go. Let's see. It is just a flat 1. Mako nailed it. It's an 8.
Wow.
That has been my most common thing, is 8. Just every time. It's been pretty much 8 has been my most common one for sure.
I figured you would bang out like a plus 3 in there.
I did. I got a plus 3 and that's it. Got 1 plus 3 and then 1's everywhere else. So yeah. It was a plus 3 and then 1, 1, 1, 1.
For the plasma, for that little game where it made you do the meter back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how I said I was purposely not hitting the center on the new plasma?
Mm-hmm.
After 10 days, it automatically says you have now calibrated it correctly and it got rid of the game for me now. I was like, no, I was purposely not hitting it for that reason.
Wow.
That's classic.
So it finds a way to screw you out of it anyway. That is wow. Well,
at least you milked it for as long as you could.
Right?
Yeah. All right. So I think that concludes everything with SOS. Now I do want to do one other thing here before we sign off. And I know Aerith was there, so I do want to thank Aerith. Give me a second here. Let me do this here.
Aerith was there?
Mm-hmm. I will explain in 1 second. Because it is going a little slow on me here. There you go. Come on, open. Open up. Where are you? Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. So, this past weekend, RSG officially started its annual charity fundraiser. And we raised money for the American Cancer Society. We raised, as I will share on the screen here, we raised $5,299.69 this last Saturday when I was doing ended up being almost a 27-hour stream. So thank you guys so much. And I might be missing some others that are in the chat, but I know Aerith was there and she did donate. So thank you very much for that, Aerith. And we want to continue this. This is our continuing annual charity fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. And we will be doing this throughout the rest of 2021 and into the early kind of quarter of 2022. And our goal is 15,000. So I do want to, and I'm making sure that I have it. I should have the link in the description of the YouTube video down below. For if you would like to go to the Tiltify page and donate, that should be available to you guys there. And yeah, basically we want to make sure everybody is there and donating. Again, we're raising money for the American Cancer Society, so if you donate through the Tiltify, it goes directly to them. We don't want any. If you want to donate to us, that's just to help RSG, but it's not going to the ACS in that way. So please go to the Tiltify if you can donate. We want to try and hit that 15,000 goal probably close to April. So we have some time. We will try to do some other events. There are some polls, there are some targets and rewards that you guys can get, including the wristbands, which will close out the poll here shortly. But yes, please head over there if you haven't already and just take a look at the campaign. Again, almost $5,300 raised in one 27-hour stream. So can't thank you guys enough for the support that you guys are showing. We hit 15,000 last year, so that's why it's our goal this year to see how far we can get. And hopefully we can crush that too, because we're already more than like a third of the way there. So just wanted to mention that for those of you that were not familiar, and if you would like to donate, where you can find the link, which is down in the description of our YouTube video. So thank you to everybody that showed up for that stream and donated and all that kind of fun stuff. So I think with that, we will go ahead and start to sign out. I'll head over to Mako first. Any last words, Mako?
I don't think so. We talked about a lot of the stuff we missed last week and a lot of the new content that some of our viewers might not even have for a couple months here. So I guess we'll just leave it at that. If anything else comes up or have any questions, let us know and we can hit on it next time. If anything else comes up with the new season that I think you guys need to know before you get there so you're not blindsided, I will let you know next time.
There you go. Yes, please put comments if you guys have questions for us, and then we'll try to get those answered either directly in the comments or potentially on the Discord, or we can answer it on the next stream. So please make sure you guys comment on the videos if you guys have any questions. Delete, any last words from you?
No, we hit a bunch of stuff, for like missing a week and then coming back and then kind of like half of us kind of being, with the event and the other half not, and, half of us playing and the other half not. I think we covered a lot, thanks for tuning in and I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and gals.
There you go. So I think, wait, why is it echoing? Oh, there we go. Okay. Wait, is it echoing somewhere?
I think we covered a lot, thanks.
Why is it echoing? Oh, I know why it's echoing. There we go. I was echoing delete on my end because I had opened up the page to check the description of the YouTube video and I left it open. I'm like, I'm hearing delete multiple times. It's like echoing what you said first, and then it comes through, and then it echoes that because it heard it for the second time. So it's the same thing going from delete over and over and over and over.
Infinity loop.
That's called resonating. There we go. That's the RSG technical error version of resonating. So RSG has resonated delete. So that's what you got there. But with that, we'll go ahead and end the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you guys had some fun tonight, and we will see you again next week for another episode of The Bunker Underground. So with that, I am Infinity with Reality Skewed Gamers. Everyone have a great rest of your Thursday. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. We will see you next week. And we are signing out. Take care.
Rock on out.